One of the most notorious rules is the ban on 12 to 6 elbows. This is when you drop your elbow vertically, like striking a nail with a hammer. Banned in the late 90s after regulators observed martial artists smashing blocks of ice with this motion, it was deemed too dangerous for MMA. Here's the kicker: you can throw elbows from almost any other angle, even if they pack the same punch. Jon Jones famously lost a fight via disqualification due to this rule, marking the only blemish on his record. Imagine the confusion and frustration from both fighters and fans alike. This rule highlights the paradox of safety versus strategy in the sport. You can't knee or kick the head of a grounded opponent. A fighter is considered grounded if anything but the soles of their feet is touching the mat. This includes a hand, knee, or hip. Once grounded, their head becomes protected, no knees or soccer kicks allowed. This has led to some bizarre moments where fighters cleverly place a fingertip on the ground just to avoid head strikes. It's a fascinating loophole that showcases the strategic depth of the sport. The unintended consequences of this rule can lead to both tactical advantages and frustrating stalemates. No grabbing the fence? Fence grabbing is illegal, but it happens all the time. This tactic can prevent takedowns, improve balance, and hinder ground transitions. Referees can issue warnings or even deduct points, but it remains one of the most frequently ignored fouls in MMA. Picture a fighter desperately clinging to the cage, hoping to avoid being taken down. It's a tense moment that highlights the fine line between strategy and rule violations. Fans often debate whether such actions should be penalized more strictly, reflecting the ongoing evolution of the sport. No small joint manipulation. You can break an arm or choke someone unconscious, but pulling a finger is a no-go. The UFC bans small joint manipulation, any attack on individual fingers or toes, to prevent injuries, as fingers are easy to dislocate and hard to defend. Interestingly, wrist locks or attacks on multiple fingers at once are completely legal. It's a curious distinction that emphasizes safety while allowing for other forms of aggression. This rule often surprises fans who might expect all forms of joint manipulation to be treated equally. Spiking or pile driving is illegal. Slamming your opponent, perfectly legal. But driving their head straight into the mat like a pile driver, instant foul. The difference lies in control and intent. The UFC bans spiking, slamming someone directly onto their head, unless it happens during a submission scramble. This rule often sparks debates among fans about what constitutes a fair move versus a dangerous one. It raises questions about the balance between aggression and safety and how much control a fighter should have over their opponent. No fish hooking, hair pulling, or biting. This one feels obvious, yet such moves were once common. Fish hooking, pulling at the mouth or nose, was prevalent in early Vale Tudo fights. Today, it's treated like an eye gouge, a one-time offense that can lead to severe penalties. It's a reminder of how far the sport has come in terms of safety and respect among fighters. The evolution of these rules reflects a growing recognition of fighter welfare and the need for a more honorable competition. You can be disqualified for attacking after the bell. Timing is crucial. If you hit your opponent after the horn, even half a second late, you risk being penalized or disqualified. This has led to tense moments in fights where fighter instincts clash with the rules. Imagine the adrenaline rush, only to have your victory snatched away by a split-second lapse in judgment. This rule emphasizes the importance of discipline and awareness in the heat of battle. Ref can restart the fight for stalling. If the referee sees no progress, no position advancement, strikes, or submissions, they can restart the fight standing. This rule aims to force action and avoid stalling, but it can be controversial. Fighters in dominant positions may lose their advantage instantly, leading to heated discussions among fans and analysts alike. This dynamic keeps the action flowing, but can leave fighters frustrated when they feel their efforts are being disregarded. New UFC glove rules dash. In 2024, the UFC introduced new gloves to reduce eye pokes. The new design curves the fingers downward, locks the wrist to prevent grabbing, adds chip tracking, and uses different colors for title main events. This is the most significant equipment upgrade in UFC history, showcasing the organization's commitment to fighter safety. Fans and fighters alike are eager to see how these changes impact future bouts and reduce injuries. Hand wrapping has specific rules. Fighters must follow strict guidelines for wrapping their hands, including a set length of gauze, limited tape width, and padding that can't extend past the knuckles. Commission officials monitor the process closely, and if it's even slightly wrong, they'll demand a re-wrap. This meticulous attention to detail is crucial for ensuring fighter safety and fair competition. It underscores the professionalism required in the sport and the lengths taken to protect the athletes. No Vaseline below the eyes. Cutmen apply Vaseline to prevent cuts, but it's only allowed on the face and above the eyes. Why? Because Vaseline on the body makes a fighter slippery, creating an unfair advantage. Picture a fighter trying to grapple with someone who's practically greased up. It would be chaos. This rule reflects the ongoing efforts to maintain fairness in the ring, balancing safety with the competitive nature of the sport. Mouth guards are mandatory. Forget your mouth guard? No fight. Lose it during the match. The ref stops the action to replace it. This rule underscores the importance of protecting fighters' dental health and ensuring safety inside the octagon. It also adds an extra layer of strategic planning, as fighters must be mindful of their equipment throughout the match. Corners can throw the towel, but rarely do. UFC corners can stop the fight by throwing in the towel, but they rarely do. The official method involves notifying the referee. Some commissions won't even recognize a literal towel throw, which adds an element of tension for fighters and corners alike. This reluctance to intervene often leads to heated discussions about fighter safety versus the desire to let them continue. You can't fake a glove touch. A glove touch symbolizes respect, but faking it to land a cheap shot, not technically illegal, but heavily frowned upon. Fighters who engage in this tactic often find themselves booed, fined, or worse, blacklisted by fans and fellow fighters. It's a testament to the code of honor that exists in the sport, highlighting the importance of integrity even in the heat of competition. No talking to opponent or ref mid-fight. Excessive talking during a fight can be seen as stalling or taunting, leading to warnings or penalties from the referee. This rule ensures that fighters remain focused on the match, preserving the intensity and seriousness of the competition. It also adds a psychological element to fights, as silence can amplify the tension in the octagon. No greasing or oiling up. Fighters can't apply lotions, oils, or anything slippery before the match. It creates an unfair advantage in grappling exchanges. Referees check arms, chest, and back before every fight, ensuring a level playing field. Imagine a fighter slipping through their opponent's grasp. It would lead to chaos in the octagon. This rule emphasizes the commitment to fairness and safety in the sport. No strikes to the spine or back of the head. You can punch the side of the head, but strikes to the back or spine are illegal due to the risk of nerve damage or paralysis. However, this rule can be a gray area. Fighters often receive warnings rather than penalties for grazing shots. It opens up discussions about the fine line between aggression and safety and how referees interpret the rules in real time. You can't use foreign substances for weight cutting. IVs are banned for rehydration, as are most diuretics. Fighters must cut weight naturally through saunas, sweatsuits, and baths, and weigh in 24 hours before fight night. Those who cheat the system face suspensions or fines. It's a rigorous process that demands discipline and dedication from fighters, highlighting the mental and physical challenges they face before stepping into the octagon. Slapping is legal. Believe it or not, slapping is legal in the UFC. While it may seem unconventional, fighters can use slaps as a legitimate striking method. However, it's not commonly employed because slaps are generally less effective than punches. Notably, Nick Diaz has famously used slaps to taunt his opponents, showcasing his unique style. This rule highlights the creativity and tactics fighters can employ, even if slapping isn't a go-to move in the octagon. You can't grab your opponent's shorts or gloves. In the UFC, fighters are prohibited from grabbing their opponent's shorts or gloves. While a fighter can grab their own gear for leverage, any attempt to hold on to an opponent's equipment is considered a foul. This rule is in place to maintain fairness and prevent any unfair advantage that could arise from manipulating an opponent's gear. It's a subtle but crucial aspect of the sport, emphasizing the importance of skill over trickery in achieving victory. The towel trick is banned. The infamous towel trick is a tactic that has been banned in the UFC. Fighters used to leverage towels during weigh-ins to appear lighter, a strategy famously employed by Daniel Cormier. This practice is now closely monitored to ensure fair competition and adherence to weight classes. The ban reflects the UFC's commitment to integrity in the sport, ensuring that every fighter meets the required standards without resorting to questionable tactics. Reference discretion in doctor stoppages. In the UFC, the referee holds significant power when it comes to ensuring fighter safety during bouts. If a fighter is bleeding excessively or suffers a serious injury, the referee can pause the fight to consult a ringside doctor. This decision is crucial as the doctor's assessment takes precedence over the fighter's desire to continue. This rule underscores the importance of fighter welfare, emphasizing that the health and safety of the athletes come before the competitive spirit of the match. It's a critical safeguard that reflects the sport's commitment to protecting its participants even in the heat of battle. The UFC might look wild from the outside, but it's anything but lawless. Every move, every moment, every detail is governed by dozens of carefully written rules designed to protect fighters and preserve the sport. As MMA evolves, expect even more changes ahead. What weird rule surprised you the most? What is the strangest rule you learned today? And if you want more deep dives like this one, subscribe and hit the bell.